Hi, it's me, Jessica, and today I'm going to be doing my May and June book haul. I didn't get a lot of books in the month of May, so I thought I would not show you them and kind of do a combined book haul for June and May, which is what I'm going to do right now. And I'm going to show you all the books I got. And there's this one I'm very excited to tell you guys about. So, first 4 books I got in the month of May, so you'll see those. The first one I have is Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. I read this book 2 years ago, my sophomore year of high school. And it's probably one of my favorite books I've ever had to read for school. I love it so much. So when I saw it at the thrift store, I just had to get it because I've never been able to find it at the thrift store. And now I have it, and I'm really excited just to have it and maybe reread it. I love this book so much. If you haven't read this book, it's a dystopian. It's in a world where reading books is kind of not allowed, and the main character, Guy Montag, is a fireman, but instead of putting out the fires, he starts them, and he burns books, and he kind of he changes after he meets this girl, and he just kind of opens his eyes to the society that he lives in, and it's a great book. I love it so much. I want to read more Ray Bradbury, actually, so if I find any more at the thrift store, I will probably be buying. Alright, so next book you guys already know I have because I've done a book talk, and that is The Trials of Apollo, The Hidden Oracle by Rick Riordan. I love this book so much. Can't wait for the second one. And I got it, and I was just like, I have to read it immediately, especially since one of my friends had already read it, and she basically told me I needed to read it. Next, I have a book that I've wanted to read for a while, ever since I really got into reading a lot more, reading the classics. The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. I love just the concept of this book. I read the synopsis over and over just because I love it so much. Next, I have a book I got at the thrift store, and that is The Passage, and this is by Justin Cronin. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. It's an adult book, and I believe it's a post-apocalyptic book. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but actually I was at Costco the other day and I saw the sequel, and I didn't know there was a sequel. So I'll read this someday and see if I like it. Next, okay, so all of these books I'm now going to show you are from this month, and I got a lot of good ones, and I'm really excited to show you. So next I have Midsummer's Night Dream by William Shakespeare. I read Hamlet for my senior year. I read Hamlet, and I fell in love with it. Hamlet is now my favorite Shakespeare play, and I kind of want to get more into Shakespeare, because besides Hamlet, the only thing I'd read was Much Ado About Nothing and Romeo and Juliet. You know, Romeo and Juliet's typical Romeo and Juliet. Everyone knows that story. But Much Ado About Nothing was pretty fun, and so I'm interested in reading more Shakespeare, and so I saw this at the thrift store, and it wasn't written in. If you find a Shakespeare book at the thrift store, it's most likely a student copy, and they wrote in it. So next I have 2 books that go together, so I probably should show them. I have The Monsterologist by Rick Yancey, and also the second book is The Curse of the Windigo, and this is also by Rick Yancey, of course. I found these at the thrift store, and I've only heard really good things about them, so I wanted to get them and I wanted to read them. Also, I didn't know these were written by Rick Yancey until I picked them up. So I'm excited to pick these up soon, read them, and do a video for you guys. Next, I have a book I got from the thrift store, and that would be Just One Day by Gail Forman. It's kind of in bad condition. Thrift stores, you don't know what you're gonna get. This isn't in the best condition, but I'm still gonna read it, and it's gonna be good. I've never read a Gail Forman book before, so we'll see how this goes. I'm excited. I don't read a lot of contemporary, and I know people who do read a lot of contemporary, and I like my fantasy. So I'm gonna try to dive into a little bit of contemporary. Next I have a book my friend gave to me because she finished reading it, and she's trying to dwindle down her books, which is kind of sad. But it's The Young Elites by Marie Lu, and I wanted to read this book for so long. It's got an anti-hero main character, and I'm really excited about that. So thank you, Joy, for giving me this. She also has a blog, so I'll link her blog down in the description, and you guys can go show her some love. Next, I have A Field Guide to Demons, Fairies, Fallen Angels, and Other Submersive Spirits, and this is by Carol G. Mack and Dehan Mack. I believe that's it. Yes, but it's this. I really like the supernatural. Also, I'm writing a book series that involves demons and spirits, and it's fantasy. It's fantasy. I read fantasy. I want to write fantasy. So I got this book to help me out a little bit, give me some ideas about some demons I could put in there. So I'm excited to just kind of skim through this. So these next two books are kind of ridiculous, but I feel like I should show them. This book, if you didn't know from a previous video I did where I am in an orchestra and we play Star Wars, well, I had an orchestra banquet and my orchestra teacher she gives a book that kind of summed up the attitude of the senior class, and that was Where the Wild Things Are, and this is by Maurice Sendak, and it's a classic. You know, everyone knows Where the Wild Things Are. I think there was a movie made. Pretty sure there was a movie made. Next, I have a book that my principal gave the whole class of 2016, and that was Achieve Any Goal, 12 Steps to Realizing Your Dreams, and this is by Brendan Tracy. I don't even know if I'm going to read it, but I feel like I have to keep it because it's just kind of this memory from graduation. So, yep. So the last book I have, this book I bought like 2 days ago, and it was probably the best book deal I've ever found, like better than thrift stores, I feel like. So I'm gonna explain it. I went to BAM, Books A Million, and I was walking around and I finally went to the clearance section, and I was looking at all the teen, and I was like, oh my god, they have this book and they have this book, and then I saw this book and I almost flipped out, and there was this guy standing in the aisle too, so that was a little, I was like, okay, I can't scream. But it's Queen of the Tearlings, and this is by Erica Johnson, and it's the hardback cover that is normally $27, and I, ladies and gentlemen, bought it for $6. And I love, just like, look at the spine is gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It also has the kind of ribbon bookmarker going with it, so it's like one of those kind of classic books, and I'm really, really excited. And everyone I know, not everyone, but a lot of people I know who read as much as I do have read this book, and they say it's amazing, even though it's just kind of a lead-up book, and I'm really, really excited to finally read it, and I might just add this to my summer TBR. Oh my god, I love it. The best deal ever. I'm excited. I love the cover. I'm just, I hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me what books you got for May and June, or just June. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Thank you for watching again. Bye.